Hello everyone. I hope you all are doing well today. I hope you all are doing well today. I'm trying to get some of the sunlight out of my face. But yeah, today I am going to be using Visine in the place of the word I'm actually talking about when it comes to taking certain, you know, things into your body. And this is in reference to my toddler. Now, I do have a 22-year-old son as well, and so I have been aware of a lot of these things, but I became aware after the fact, like during his later years. And if I could go back, I would do a lot of things differently concerning him and Visines, because I know the issue in the statistics concerning Black boys and Visines and how they disproportionately affect Black boys. If you don't know what I'm talking about, feel free to go and look it up yourself. There's also an issue with certain demographics receiving different versions of Visines. There is a nurse on record actually saying that she overheard a doctor saying that patients were being given the wrong batches of Visines. And the problem with that is, why are different people receiving different batches of Visine? Anyway, not going into that, but we all know that those things exist, and unfortunately, they do happen in our communities. So like I said, my husband and I both agreed that this was the route we wanted to take for our young child, right? As parents, you never know what's right or wrong until it's all over. We just try to make the best decisions that we can as parents. You know what I mean? We try to make better decisions than our parents made. We try to be a little bit more educated and advised than we were before. Just like I said, I did things totally different with my older child that I'm doing with this child. But, with time and age comes wisdom. And so with that being said, when it was time to enroll my child into daycare, because up to now he's been going to family members and to a personal care not facility, someone that I knew that just took him on in her home, and she was taking care of him one-on-one. And when he wasn't there, he was with family members. So he wasn't around a whole lot of children or toddlers. It was usually just him. So, today we enrolled him. The day was his first day in daycare among, a number of other children his age. And with that being said, I had to fill out at least 25 different documents. I do not remember having to fill out that amount of documents. But of course it was 20 years ago when I enrolled my oldest child into daycare. Hi Gwen, how are you today? I hope you're doing well. Hi Terry. But like I said, a lot of things have changed. It was all new to me. I was a little upset about the number of documents, but at the same time, I totally understand. And my child does have allergies, so that's another, added thing that had to be addressed. So when I was filling out the documents, right, and one of the things that they asked for is the Visines, the scheduled or the list of the Visines that he has had. And I said, there is no list. I don't have anything to give you. And then I asked, so should a note come from the doctor? Should a note come from, a pastor or a religious leader or something like that? And they told me yes. And so I went to the doctor. The doctor said, well, I can't really write you a letter because yeah, sorry about that. For some reason, my phone went out. That was very weird. That never happened to me before. But, when you start talking about certain things, sometimes it goes that way. But let me go ahead and get through this. But anyway, the doctor said we can't write you a letter because we actually suggest that you have these things. And I said, okay, well, I don't know what to do. I said, we'll just fill out the form and just sign it at the bottom and leave it blank because I don't know what else to give them. And so we did that. I submitted that, but I also got a letter from my Moray. Now, I don't actually attend that particular school anymore, but he was still generous enough to I could still use the letter that he wrote many years ago. But anyway, I didn't end up needing the letter, but it's good to have just in case it's ever asked about again. But in essence, we only had to fill out this one sheet form explaining why we do not choose to vaccine our child. And you can choose personal reasons was one, religious reasons was the other, or medical. Now, medical would be like if your child has any interactions with any of the ingredients in the vaccines. But those are the 3 reasons that they have listed, and you just check off the ones that apply to you. And for me, it was personal reasons and religious reasons. Those were the 2 that I checked. But I'm saying all of that to say this, that it's not as hard as you think it is to enroll your child. I'm in North Carolina. Yeah, I can't speak on any of the other states because some of the other states I have heard that it's really difficult to enroll your child in a school if they have not had any vaccines. But here it was a little simpler. It was pretty simple for me. I did a little bit more than I thought I had to do. I went ahead and got a letter, like I said, from a religious leader, but I didn't end up needing the letter, but I still have it, just in case, like I said. But, I just wanted to wrap that up and tell you all, just do the best that you can for your child. Make the best decision that you can. Okay, thank you, Terry. Hi, Scorpio. How are you? Oh, thank you, Terry, for subscribing. I appreciate that. Welcome to all of my shenanigans. But yeah, just do the best that you can. People are going to tell you, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You're not doing this right. You're not doing that right. But you birthed your child, all right? You love your child. Nobody else loves your child the way that you love them. And so you are going to do the best for them that you possibly can. So make the best decision or what you think is the best at that time. That's really all we can do as parents, And that's pretty much all I have to say. So if you are a parent on the same train of thought as my husband and I are, don't be discouraged. Just do whatever you can to get through what you can get through. And that's pretty much it. But if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the topic at hand, enrolling your child without any vaccines into school, just leave your messages here. I'm always open and to new suggestions as well. I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything. This channel is just about me sharing my experiences and my thought through my growth, okay? So that hopefully I'm helping somebody else. But if you all don't have any other questions or comments during the live, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. But if you're watching this later, please leave your questions, comments, and concerns, and you all be blessed.